and thank you for being here for this session.
Hey, just a minute, Smita.
Yes,
Okay. So, can everyone see the screen right? Yeah. So, good evening to you all. Uh, Thank you for joining us today for the Microsoft Reactor Bengaluru. I am Parth Varu from the Microsoft Reactor Bengaluru. The session will run over next 60 minutes, including Q&A. The session will be recorded and will be uploaded to our Reactor YouTube channel. We will share the link of our YouTube channel in the chat section soon. Before we begin, please take a moment to read our code of conduct. We are all here to learn together. So please be respectful of other people's views, understanding of differences, being kind and considerate in the way you engage. The chat will be open throughout and we do encourage you all to participate. Also, please keep your mics muted during the session. So now I would like to welcome Smita, who is our speaker for today's session. She's a two times Microsoft MVP in M365 development category. She is also a Microsoft certified trainer and author of two books. She has 14 plus years of experience with Microsoft technologies. I hand over to Smita to begin the session.
yeah, thank you so much, Parth. So let me share my screen and
Yep.
please let me know once you are able to see my screen.
Yeah, we can see your screen. Please go ahead.
Yeah, so hello all and welcome to this session and thank you for being here for this session. So today we are going to discuss how we can just add the intelligence to your M365 apps with the Azure AI, how we can just classify the content with the cognitive and sentiment analysis. So today I'm here to show you the three cool demos which you can use irrespective of SharePoint or any other technology by implementing AI using the cognitive and sentiment analysis. But before that, let me start my introduction. So, myself, Smita Nasan. I am from Pune, India. I am working as a Microsoft 365 consultant and I'm having total 14 years of experience, especially with M365, with SharePoint, Microsoft Teams, Yammer, Group, and Viva. I am speaker as well as author of two books. I am two times Microsoft MVP. I'm a Microsoft certified trainer, and these are some of my social handlers by which you can get in touch with me. So today is the agenda. That the agenda is firstly, we will have an overview of Microsoft Azure Cognitive Services. Then we will explore the three major services like a computer vision, API, custom vision services, and sentiment analysis API. So it will give us the idea how we can just make your Microsoft 365 apps intelligent. So firstly, to start with what is mean by AI. So AI is all about amplifying a human creativity with the intelligent technology. So whenever we deal with any kind of data around us, so it is a imperfect data. So we learn and we form the conclusions from the imperfect data using some kind of reasoning, and then we use that reasoning to understand that data better, including the text, voice, or images, and then we start interacting with that data in some natural ways. So this is what is mean by AI. So whenever we talk with or whenever we try to define that with the Microsoft Cognitive Services, it gives us the wild opportunity for us to implement the AI. So the first one is the vision where we can just understand these images and the videos better. Then we have a speech. So from where we can just recognize the speech, speaker, and the content or the intent of that particular speech. Then we have a language wherein we can process the text and recognize what user want to say. Then we have a knowledge. So it is again a rich knowledge from the web that you can use with your own data and then search to search across all these kinds of things, and then again in the preview feature, we have a few of the things which we want to use before the general availability of that particular feature. So for this session, we will majorly concentrate on the Vision API. So what Vision is mean by from faces to feeling, it allows your apps to understand the images and videos better. So if we deep dive into the Vision, there are many things which Vision can do. So the first one is the computer vision API, then we have a face API, then the emotions API, content moderator, custom vision service, and a video indexer. So each of them by name defines like what do they do. So during this session, we will mostly concentrate upon the computer vision APIs and the custom vision services. Those are really very helpful to analyze our image in some better relatives. So to let me change my screen. Okay. So to start with what is mean by a computer vision API, so it analyzes the image, understand the content within that the particular image. So even we can use this OCR, that is the optical character recognition, to detect and recognize the words within that particular image. And even we can generate the thumbnails by scaling it and the images while returning the key contained inside that particular image. And then again, one beautiful thing of this is using this computer vision API, we can easily recognize the celebrities or even few of the landmarks which are already trained by Microsoft for this computer vision API. So let's have a quick example how it works. So whenever we try to analyze an image, so over here also we have one image of horse. So whenever we will give this kind of an image to the computer vision API, what it will do is it will analyze that particular image and it will give us the some metadata about that. So that particular image, so likely in the categories it is defined that you can see over here there is a animal, okay, and it is giving a score also. There are some more tags also available, like there is a grass, outdoor, horse, field, brown, animal running, and grass. So this is just an one example over here. So now let's see how we can just create our own computer vision APIs, how we can provide the images to it, then how we can able to analyze those images. So for that, let me go to my Azure portal. Just give me a moment. So once we go to that Azure portal, you have to click on the create a resource under the AI plus machine learning. So we will see all those kind of functionalities, AI kind of functionalities which are given by Microsoft Azure. So here are we have a computer vision. So from here we can just click on the computer vision so that it will take us to the window wherein we can create a new computer vision. So here we just have to specify the name for that particular computer vision, and once you specify the name then you have to select the subscription and then you have to select the location. So while selecting the location, I prefer to use the central US because it is very much the old data center that we have, and it has got very much good preview features also available with it. So if you want to use those, then prefer to go with the central US, and then you can go ahead with the pricing. So here let me click on this pricing details and I will explain what kind of the functionalities are available to you. So when you choose that pricing tier, so for example, if you choose a free instance, in that case, you are allowed to have a 20 transactions per minute, but the features are not that much. On the other hand, if you go ahead with some kind of an pay transaction like S1, then you can have about a 10 transaction per seconds, and it will help you to get the features of like a tag, face thumbnails, colors, and other things. Like if you go ahead for few of the more features, then obviously the price will increase, but you will get some more number of features to use. So I will not spend the time here to create a new computer vision API, but I will rather use the one which I have already created. So once you fill up this particular form, you will be here. Let me open that. Yeah, so you'll be here to do the service or the resource that just got the created. So this is how it is look like. And then we have something called the API console. So once you clicked, let me go to that API console just a moment. So from here, you will able to test out this particular computer vision API. So in a nutshell, it does not contain much of the things, just that few of the APIs or few of the predefined or pre-educated intelligence being offered by Microsoft Azure to analyze our images much better. So once we are to the console, then the next thing is that we should select our region, under which region you want to select or test the images. So here I have created my cognitive service under the region of East US. So I will go here and select the East US. And once we are here, the next thing is that we will have to provide a name or the resource which we want to test again. Okay, so this is my resource name which you would like to test again. Then there are various these visual features which you can test apart from the brand categories, colors, and other things. So let's you want to test out the tags, because these tags will return you the most of the tags which are associated for that particular image. Then in the details we have the two things. So to test the two first things, one is the celebrities and the next one is the landmark. So let's go ahead and select the celebrities, and then this content type is application JSON, because we want to return or we want to get the output in the form of JSON. So once we have done, the next thing is we want to provide a key by which we will able to authenticate against the API and then get the result. So for that, I will go back to the key and endpoints, and let me select the key for this one. So I will just copy paste this key to there. So now we have that keys also. So if you want to pass on a few of additional headers, it can be done also from here. And the next thing is we want to compose the request body. So that means we can directly provide the image itself. Otherwise, we can provide a URL of the image. So in this case, what I will do, I will just go ahead and let me select one image URL I have already in my notepad file. I have already copied. Okay, so let's go for Bill Gates. First, I will open that URL and I will show you who is he. So let me paste over here and click on this. Let me show you first on that URL. Okay, there is an image of Bill Gates. And now let's go back and let's click on this send button. Okay. Now let's see, the response is 200. Okay, so that means the response is successful, and then it has identified the celebrity as a Bill Gates. Okay, and also you can just see the confidence scores also. So that means it's almost 100% sure that the celebrity is Bill Gates. And then again, it's give us the few of the other tags also you can see on the screen. So there are so many tags are available, like a person, smile, clothing, and with the confidence scores also. So now let's see, for example, if you want to check few of the things. So let's check for this landmark. So let's go and check for, we have already checked for the celebrity. Let's check for the landmark. So first you have to change the details to landmark, and then we will take a image of Taj Mahal. So there is already one image of Taj Mahal. First I will show you that image available on that URL, and then we will provide over here, and then we will check the result for it. So let's see what outcomes it gives us when it gives you the Microsoft Azure API. So again, over here, you can see once you clicked on the OK button, what is the confidence score and what are the tags are there. So it is already identified it as Taj Mahal, and also there are so many tags are also available with all the confidence scores. Okay, so this is how it works with the computer vision API. So now that I want to extend this particular API to SharePoint, because what happens mostly is the SharePoint is being mostly used for sorting the content and the images and the documents and all other things. So inside my document library, let me go back to my document library. Over here, I have already added one image for this London Eye. So I will add one more image over here. Let me give a second. Let me add the image of Taj Mahal. So here I want my Microsoft Azure API to give me the cognitive tags, like what is the content inside that particular image. And I want my Azure API to analyze the content inside this particular image. So now it is uploaded, and in the background, we have one Power Automate flow. So it will run that Power Automate flow, or you can say the Microsoft flow. So let me quickly explain what is exactly is doing. So let me edit and go to that details of that particular Power Automate flow. Just give me moments, it is opening. So but on a higher level, whenever any of the file is being added to my SharePoint document library, I'm giving a call to analyze image API for the computer vision, and then I'm getting the information for the path where it has been uploaded. And once I get it, I'm just again sending a request to my SharePoint and then parsing that particular JSON which I got from the cognitive API, and then updating the file properties with those. So we can see the details over here. So now it's already ran 41 minutes ago. So seconds ago, sorry. So now if you go back, go to the compose over here, you can see it is just giving this all the details. Okay, it is a building and all the tags and with all the confidence scores. So what you can do, you can just check get all this data and you can just store it back to the SharePoint as per your requirement. So this is all about this computer vision API. So it is very simple. So whenever we upload any kind of an image to SharePoint, or even let's say to any other data source which you are using, we can make a call to Azure Cognitive Service Vision API, and then it can return us the tags or the information about that. So right now we can see that it has fall through all of these activities successfully. So this is how it works. So now let's go to the next part. We have already seen about this computer vision API, how you can deal with it, what are the how you can out of the box, you can just test it. So the next one is a bit complex, which is this custom vision services. So as we saw, like this Azure Cognitive Service Vision API includes the services for detecting the common objects. So for example, if you upload a image of a car to the computer vision service, it will correctly identify it as a car. However, there might be some of the circumstances where you need to identify objects or scenarios that the computer vision services does not recognize. So that is where the custom vision services will come into the picture. And while the computer vision services already trained by Microsoft to recognize the common objects, it is up to you to train the custom vision service for the specific things you want it to recognize. So for example, if you are working in kind of an industry where you have objects like ball bearings, screws, nuts, and all those things, so you can upload the images of that to the custom vision service. You can train that custom vision service to identify each of those objects. And whenever there will be a bigger picture coming into it, it will help you to identify what kind of an object that particular picture contains. So let's say what is mean by this custom vision API. So it is already trained by Microsoft to identify common objects and scenarios, and top of it we can also train this custom vision API for the specific things we want to recognize ourselves. So we will go through one day more details about it, but how we can just still make use of it. But again, the simple rule here is that we will upload the images to this custom vision service. We will train this custom vision service to analyze that particular image. Then it will apply label on that particular image. And then after we can evaluate the images which we want to try out. So let's go for a demo for it. And for that purpose, I would like to show you demo. So again, if you want to create, let me go back to Azure portal. And if you want to create a custom vision API, in the search box, you can just type for it. And here is this custom vision. So once you click it, it will help you to create a custom vision. So here again, while creating, we have two options to do. We want to use it for both like a training as well as for this prediction. So training, the name itself suggests that we can use it to train the images or the content, and the prediction, that means the API which we will use in the production environment to analyze the images better. Again, while creating this particular service, we need to choose the subscription, resource group, and give it a unique name. And then the next thing is that we need to specify the training resource, and we need to specify the prediction resource. So the training resource, that means the location where we would like to train our resource. So again, I said maybe you can use this central US location here. There are two types of things. One is the training resource, wherein you can just train your resources, and the next thing is a prediction resource, wherein you can use this in a production kind of an environment to predict the times or the content, sorry, predict the things or the content inside your images. So again, for the training location, we have a few of more capabilities available. So from a central US location, so if you want to go ahead with that, so in the pricing tier, we have a free pricing tier as well as the paid pricing tier. So in the pricing, it goes something like pricing for prediction goes per thousand transaction, and pricing for training goes per computer hour. So that means we have a free training for 1 hour for our model. But if you want to go beyond that and you will have to pay, then again there is a cost associated with the image storage, because we are going to upload the images to this service and apply some kind of an labeling on top of it. So the image storage is a price again for 1,000 images. So this is how we can just create this particular resource for the training prediction. Choose your pricing tier, and once you are done, then you have to just click on this view and create. So it will create that custom vision API for you. So I have already created the custom vision API and just wanted to save some of the time. So let me go and open that resource group for you. So once you open, so here are the two things. So this one is our first one is our training API, and this one is our prediction API. So each of this training and prediction service has got different keys associated with it. So for example, if I open custom vision, if I open the prediction, it has got different keys associated with. So I will go through it like how to use and when to use. And let me go back to our slide. So the next thing is that we will have to do is we will have to build a classifier. That means we have to create a project, and we will have to define a domain for that particular project, and then we will add the images to this project, and we will assign the tags to the images, and then we will train that particular classifier. And once our classifier is trained, we will use that classifier to evaluate our production image. So let's just start it creating the classifier. So for that, again I will go back to my Azure portal. I will go back to this prediction API. Then again, I will click on this custom vision portal. Okay, so this is something outside of Azure portal, but again, it can be used to train your resources. So from here, you can create a new project. So let me go back to my slide and show you for the domains. So for the domains, it includes the general food, landmark, retail, and other things, because those are being specifically created for identifying by the content of a food or the landmark or a general or any things related to that. So let's go back to once again to this our Azure portal. So we will have to specify the name, then the description, then we will have to specify the resource, then what we have created in the Azure portal. Then the project types can be classification and object detection. So the classification, that means we have multiple tags associated with that particular image. And then the object detection, that means we have a location of that particular content within that particular image. Then again, we have got the classification type. So that means the multi-label, that means the multiple tags per images, or a multi-class, that means a single tag per image. So here we can specify all these parameters, which kind of things you want to create or you want to analyze, and just click on create project. So it will create a project for you. So the once the project is created, so the next thing you will have to upload the images. So again, while we create the project, upload the images, it takes the time. So to save that particular time, I have already created one classifier, or you can say a project. So let me open this project wherein I have added a few of the images of apple and orange. And the natural thing here is that whenever we look at this particular image, we can identify this is a straightforward, like it is an apple or orange. But when it's come to the computer programming kind of thing, but for a machine, it is just still dealing with two colors like a red, orange, and some common shapes in between them. So that means for computer, it is a bit difficult to understand like whether it is a apple or whether it is a orange. So for that, we will train our model to identify this. So the next thing is that we will have to train the images. So as you create the project, you will upload the images and then you will train those particular images. So here I have already uploaded few of the images by tagging them with a specific name, like whether it is a apple or whether it is a orange. So the next thing is that we will have to carry out the iteration. That means we will have to train our particular classifier so that it will able to analyze those images better. And whenever we run train or retrain our classifier, it will generate a new iteration of our model. So let's see particularly how it works. So what I will do is I will add some more images here, so that are already available with me on my desktop. So already I have few of the more images downloaded. So I will select the image of orange. Yeah, so let me open this particular image, and inside this I can add my tags. So I am just taking this as orange since I already use. So it comes as a direct option for me to use that tags. Otherwise, what you can do is you can just create your own tags also, and just type it and just press the enter. So this way you can just keep adding your tags also. Okay, it's just giving me some of the problem. So it will apply that particular tag there, and it also has the option called as a negative. So it used for applying the negative tag onto your images. So for example, if you want to train your model, let's say for dogs, and that dogs is maybe wearing some kind of shirt wherein you have few of the logos, and if you want to negate all of that kind of logos things, like any of the logo or any specific picture, in that case you can just upload that image and tag it with the negative tag, so that the AI model will not consider those particular tags while it is analyzing the image. So okay, this is about the specific tag and a negative tag. So I will really apply this orange tag to that particular image and already upload that file. So what I will do is I will train our model so that it will able to analyze whether the picture something like this one which I have uploaded, it is as orange. So again, when it comes to the training types, it has got this two training things. One is the quick training and the other one is the advanced training. So quick training, that means it will able to judge the image based on what we have tagged to it, and otherwise even we can go inside advanced training more. But this advanced training mode takes maybe up to the 23 to 24 hours. So in that case you will get a charge for that particular training, and if you want to have a free kind of an training, so go for the quick training. Okay, so we will train this, and then this particular image will get, or this particular classifier or the project will get trained. So right now it is still in a training base on the modification or based on the delta thing. So I uploaded over here. So now over here you can see on the right side I have uploaded the, 32. I already have a 32 images of apple, and then 36 images of these oranges. So the next thing is that we need to understand the important terms, wherein what is mean by the precision and what is mean by a recall. So the precision, that means whenever we classify any image, so how likely is your classifier to correctly classify that particularly image. So it is called as precision. So that means how many selected items are relevant is denoted by the precision. And the next thing is we have a recall. So that means out of all of the images that should have been classified correctly, how many did your classifier had identified those correct images. So that means how many relevant images, how many relevant items are selected are being taken care by this recall factor. So going ahead, then we can just test our model, like we can upload our own images and we can see like how it behaves. So for that, maybe let's go back in our Azure portal, and I will just click on this quick test. Let me click on this quick test. So here probably we can give the image URL, or we can just upload it from our machine. So let me upload a picture of an apple. Yeah, so it is analyzing this particular image, and let's see what is exactly it is saying. So it is saying that okay, it is an apple, and you can see the probability is 99.7%. So that means good. You have trained your classifier or projects correctly. So that's why it's able to identify its ads correctly. So the cool thing is that we can just train this particular API in the cloud and run it anywhere. So that means we can train it in a custom vision service, but even we can deploy and run it maybe within Azure, or even on a Linux, or even on a Docker, on in any kind of things where you want. So the next thing is like whenever we run this particular classifier, it gives us the precision which was not 100%, or even that recall was not 100%. So like then how to improve that kind of an classifier? So the best way is we should upload as many photos of the images or that particular content as we can. So for example, if I go back here right now saying a red, because in order to better analyze any of the image, then the custom vision API needs at least the 50 images. But in this case, as per the tags, So that means in this case, I haven't uploaded this 50 images. So I just have restricted to limited images. So still, this is one of the factor which drives this precision and recall not to this 200%. So if you want to have a 100% precision and 100% recall, in that case, you should upload a various image, maybe from a different angle, from a different background. Because for example, if you are using a same kind of an background to analyze your images, then it might be not be a good thing. So try to have the pictures from a different angles and even from the various background, even a neutral kind, or and the background will help you to improve. But again, try to upload the images, classify them based on various background from various angles, so various object sides, and then it will help you to improve the classifier. So let's say have one example of, for example, there is a sparrow. So if you are taking any images directly from the Google of the sparrow, then it will not help, because in a real time sparrow can sit on any of the bench and the sparrow can sit on the tree branches. So you have to upload some of the real time scenarios to get the proper result. Okay, so let's have a look at the demo of it. So let me go it in SharePoint. So I will go back to my SharePoint here. So let me close this out. So again, now I have one library created over here. So let's say maybe I can upload a image of orange. So it's the same thing you can just do with this any of your Power app, or you can just do it with your Teams also. So using a Teams also, you can do that. So once you upload it, then it will recognize it as whatever the object, whatever the image you are uploading over here. For example, if you are uploading the orange, then definitely it will recognize you that as the orange. So what I will do, I will go to my flow and I will explain you. In the background we have a Power Automate flow. What is exactly this doing? So this is the flow which I have created for identify the custom vision API. So whenever a file is uploaded to a folder, we will make a call to that custom vision API, and then we will get the predictions from that particular custom vision API. We will get the first prediction because it contains the major part of that example, whether it is 99% or whether it is 100%. So we will get only that first prediction over here. Then we will pass that JSON of the first prediction, and then we will store that tags name and the probability as a variable, which we can use while we are adding that particular metadata back to our SharePoint. So once those variables are initiated from the JSON, which is written by this custom is in an API, we can make a call to SharePoint back, and we will set those properties on that particular file or that particular document. So let's say if it has taken place or not. So let's go and check what is exactly the output is it showing. So let's go over here and let's check for this output. So over here, what you can see, it is as an orange. There is a tag name orange, and then also it has given us some more tags also. So I just have taken a few random examples of this. But for example, if you are working in maybe automobile industry, or maybe in some kind of an auto industry where you have identified some of the identifiable objects, in that case you can take a pictures of those particular objects, train your classifier to identify those objects, and whenever you will upload images, it will help you to identify which kind of an objects. So it is okay. So that's one about this custom vision API. So now let's go to this last part of our session. So now I'm coming to the last part, that is for the text analysis. So what is mean by this text analysis? So we generally deal with some kind of an text like this session was good, for example, the session was not good, we have some kind of an sentiment associated with our wordings. So this text analysis will help us to identify the positive or the negative kind of an sentiments. So from that particular statement which we are passing. So the sentiment analysis is the process of detecting whether a piece of writing is a positive, negative, or a neutral. So whenever we ask for any kind of an feedback, maybe even after the session, I will ask you for your feedback. You will have maybe a positive, negative, or a neutral kind of an feedback. So in a circumstances, I don't have might be a chance to go through each of your feedback, but I what I will do is I will upload those feedback back to my sentiment analysis API, and then it will directly give me like what is the sentiments that you people had after this session. So this is the machine learning driven text mining, and it returns the numeric score between 0 to 1. So 0 that means the negative and 1 that means the positive. So let's have a look at the demo of this text analysis. So again, for that, I will go back to my Azure portal, and again I will go to create a resource. So from this over here, so we have this text analysis, sentiment analysis. So we have to do the same way like we have done this for the computer vision and the custom vision. So I have already created one. So let me go back over there, the one I have already created. So the resource which is created for the text analysis is over here. So there is a something called API console. So it is again the same thing that we have seen in the starting. So this way you can create it for the sentiment analysis also, where you can just analyze all of the text. So let me give you one live real level example. So we have one Yammer group. So let me go to my Yammer. So in the Yammer group over there, let me go to this diversity and inclusion. And over here, let me post something. So I'm just saying that, okay, the session was good. We like it. Or I will just say something like, okay, I'm happy to be part of this session. So for this again, we have a very simple Power Automate flow. So if I go back to and edit my flow, so whenever we add such a type of items over here, so new items is getting added over here in the Yammer. So this text analysis API, we are making a call to this text analysis API in Azure, and then we are getting the feedback, or we are just passing that feedback which was given, and we are getting the response back from that sentiment analysis. So over here you can just see all the details in the compose, and if you want we can just store somewhere in SharePoint also. So what are this sentiment was associated with that post. So this is about yeah, let it run just a moment. Yeah, but trust me, it will run. So let me show you the one that I've created for the demo. So last time I've added this one, and over here you can see, as I mentioned, it is a positive. That means the one it is giving us. And if you want to add it to any of your SharePoint list bags, so you can just do that activity also from Compose. So this is all about today's session.
So we
Yes,
have
Parth, I'm
questions
done.
in the chat section.
Okay, let me go ahead and let me check. Just a moment.
Yep.
Custom vision can be programmed using machine learning and deep learning. Which process do you use to train the data? Let me read it once again. They are saying that custom vision can be programmed using a machine learning and deep learning. Okay, so this one is AI offering, but also you can create your own model, as I mentioned over there, and you can just train it using ML. We have more questions. What is the difference between image processing and computer vision? Can we predict the common people using custom vision? I didn't get that question. What is the difference between this image processing? So can you please elaborate more? In general, that you have to be a celebrity to recognize you. So I show you the Bill Gates. Do we have more questions?
So anyone, if you all have questions, I'm providing mics to you. You can unmute yourself and ask the questions. Any questions? Okay, I think we don't have much questions, so
Mhm.
I shall share you the further learn modules that Smita had shared. So I'm
Okay,
sharing those links.
thank you, Parth.
Yeah.
Yeah, thank you for attending this event, and you already have my all the social media handlers. So if you need anything, then you can just ping me, and I will be happy to help you.
So these are the three links which can take your learning further. Final call to ask any more questions. Do you all have any questions, or should we call for a wrap?
Hello.
Yeah, Kiran, please go ahead.
Yes, Kiran.
Yeah. Actually, regarding the learning technologies, I mean,
Mhm.
uh, what should be the ideal one so as to, in case of for training the AI model,
Mhm.
apart from Python, can we use R also?
Which one? Apart
R,
from
R,
Python?
R, R.
R. Can you please type what is exactly that R means?
R is a programming language.
Okay, R programming language. Okay. It is ML offering.
Yes, yes, yes.
So we discuss about it.
Okay.
So we just discuss about this AI, and that is about this ML offering. But I will definitely check more about it, about the technology you have mentioned, and definitely I will get in touch with you.
Okay, then I think we don't have any more questions, so we can call for a wrap, Smita. What's it?
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah. Thank you, Smita. Thank you for the session, and thank you all for joining us today. Please do share your feedback about today's session. Also, feel free to use the Learn module link shared in the chat section. This
Mhm.
will give you the access to the additional learning, additional resource to take your learning further. Also, please do visit our Microsoft Reactor YouTube channel and do visit our Microsoft Reactor meetup page for upcoming sessions. Thank you. Thank you all once again and enjoy the rest of your day.
Yeah, thank you.